Throughout modern archaeology, humans have unearthed and discovered many exceptional things, some in better condition than others, but all with fascinating pasts. Today we will look at some of the best preserved and significant artifacts of our history. The first example is the Osberg ship. This Viking ship sailed sometime around 820 CE and was found in 1903 on a farm in Sleggen, southeastern Norway. The ship was found in a burial mound alongside 2 female skeletons, several animal skeletons, wooden sleighs, textiles, and many other artifacts. The boat is one of the largest and best preserved Viking artifacts to date. The ship itself is made primarily from oak and spans 71 feet in length and 17 feet in width, with the boat's mast originally standing up to 45 feet. The boat can now be found in the Viking Ship Museum at the University of Oslo. The next artifact is the Sword of Gudrun. The sword, around 2,500 years old, was discovered inside a waterlogged tomb alongside 2,000 other artifacts. In Jinzhou, China, this phenomenal sword was found beside a skeleton inside the tomb, and to the surprise of archaeologists, when they removed the sword from its wooden sheath, it was in pristine condition and was, quote, sharp enough to draw blood. The sword, spanning a total length of 22 inches, has a blade of copper and tin, with a guard created with blue crystal and turquoise. What makes this discovery that much more fascinating is the script found on the sword, which reads, quote, Kingdom of Yu, and, quote, made this sword for his personal use. Archaeologists believe that the sword belonged to Gudrun, hence the name, who ruled the Yu region from 496 to 469 BC. The sword can now be found in the Hubei Provincial Museum. Next is the 9th century Book of Kells. The book contains the 4 Gospels of the Bible and is preserved in outstanding condition. The book was created by Irish or Scottish monks sometime around the year 800 and portrays amazing detail of the 4 Gospels, containing 340 pages of detailed scriptures. However, through time, it is believed that the book lost 30 pages and had its original gold and jewel encrusted cover stolen in 1007. The book can now be seen on display at Trinity College in Dublin, Ireland, and has its pages flipped every 8 weeks. The 4th artifact is the bust of Nefertiti, coming from the 18th dynasty. The bust is life-size and remains in similar condition to when it was created, with vivid paint and detail still preserved. The bust has a limestone core covered with layers of stucco, a type of plaster, and contains several vivid colors, but most interestingly, the artificial color, Egyptian blue. The incredible bust can now be found in the Neues Museum in Berlin, Germany. The next artifact is the mask of Tutankhamun, who ruled during the 18th dynasty. The emperor died at the young age of 18 or 19, but claims the title for one of the best preserved Egyptian artifacts. His death mask, weighing 22 pounds, was created out of gold from Egypt and lapis lazuli from modern-day Afghanistan. The mask itself depicts a young king. However, it was most likely taken from another ruler to replace a previous, less impressive mask. The mask remains intact and in incredible condition. The mask has been seen on the floors of many great museums around the globe, of course including the British Museum. However, the mask has found its new primary home in the new Grand Egyptian Museum. The next artifacts are the Dead Sea Scrolls. These papyrus and leather scrolls were first discovered along the West Bank and come from the 2nd century BC to the 3rd century AD, and are manuscripts containing many religious texts, including a nearly complete Hebrew Bible. The scrolls were accidentally discovered when 2 teenage Sherpas between 1946 and 1947 broke a vase inside a cave, which ultimately contained the Dead Sea Scrolls. After word got out about the discoveries, archaeologists began their search for similar artifacts, which would result in the discovery of tens of thousands of fragments that would make up around 800 to 900 manuscripts. The Dead Sea Scrolls can now be found in the Israel Museum. The next artifacts come from Iraq. The golden statues depicting a Markhor goat eating leaves off a tree come from the Great Death Pit at which held an astonishing 1,800 burials, including 16 royals. An estimate puts these well-preserved statues around 4,600 years old, coming from the 3rd millennium BC. The statues are now displayed at, well, maybe not so surprisingly, the British Museum and the University of Pennsylvania Museum. The next artifact is the Nebra sky disk. This fascinating disk dates to 1800 BC and depicts some of our solar system. The disk itself is made out of bronze with gold inlays and weighs 4.6 pounds. However, other than its incredible preservation, what makes it really fascinating is what it tells us about our previous ancestors. Before the discovery, it was not thought possible for people of those eras to have such complex astronomical knowledge. As one quote from Harold Meller puts it, quote, "The astronomical rules that are depicted wouldn't be imaginable without decades of intensive observation. The disc can now be found on display at the State Museum in Hailey. The next artifacts come in quite the large quantity. The Zenhui bells were a series of bronze bells from 433 BC and were unearthed in 1978 from the tomb of Marquis Yi of Zhang. The bells, ranging in size, are hung from two wooden racks, one measuring 24.5 by 8 feet and the other 11 by nearly 9 feet in size. The largest bell weighing in at 449 pounds, with the smallest at only 5.3 pounds. The bells are in astonishingly good condition and are complete. A recreation of the bells has been made, and you can hear what they sound like here on YouTube. The bells are now displayed at the Hubei Provincial Museum. The next and final artifact of this video is the Mask of Agamemnon. The mask, dating to the 1500s BC, was discovered in Mycenae, Greece in 1876. The mask is made entirely out of sheet gold and was still attached to the body when it was discovered. However, the discovery was in similar nature to those around it, with several other figures also having gold masks in the same vicinity. The mask is now on display at the National Archaeological Museum in Athens, amongst similar artifacts. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe for my future content.